Hello, ladies and gentlemen, back to Jen Dalton, LA Like Go. Welcome back to Team Fortress 2, I guess, depending on how you ask. At the last part, at the last part, I was playing, well, actually, it was just voicing over some lines from the previous games I just did. And now I'm finishing off the other one. I know I shouldn't have ended off in that cliffhanger thing, not showing the end result of it. But this whole match takes on forever, and the next one as well, at least enough to warrant 20 minutes, or at least 15 minutes more footage, or playtime somehow. So there you go. There you go. I just wanted to point that out. So it's depending on who you ask, so, you know. Anyway, let's see. What happened? What do I want to talk about while, you're watching this footage of the game? I guess just rambling on. Let's actually discuss some movies trailers that came out. There's at least three I can talk about that came out / that just popped up that I could discuss. Okay, we have Team Fortress. No, Team Fortress the movie. Oh God. Like, I'm hoping if that ever happens, that they make it an animated movie at least. Like, completely 3D animated, have Valve take care of stuff. Because, with the stuff like Expiration Date, right? Was it? Or Runaway Train? There's like a couple of shorts I can point to that definitely showcase the best of, the best of, what Valve can do with their time. And if they put effort into, like, short animations for the Team Fortress 2 series. Oh, yeah, it's Expiration Date. I was thinking about the train one, but that's a different one, a differently named one altogether. So, sorry. I got surprised by my own, footage, and there's this thing that happened. I was like, oh, it scared me. Anyway, it's been a while. Anyway, it's been a while since I've actually played. Well, not played. It's more been a while since I've recorded this session, so it's been a while since that's happened. So depending on who you ask. But as of right now, what was it? What else is there that I could talk about? Oh yeah, right. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, the movies, right? So if if they ever do make a Team Fortress movie, I'm not saying it's gonna be bad, just that, maybe they could actually make something work for it. It's just more of, it's gonna take more to do than actually, like, it's gonna take more effort and time to put into it than actually, anything else. Depending on who you ask, it depends on who you ask. Depends on who you ask. Depends on who you ask. But anyway, the actual movie trailers that came out, or at least around the time, the ones that are more recent in my mind, are Spider-Man: Far From Home, Hellboy, and Men in Black. Men in Black International, I believe, right? Something like that. Some of those ones. So, how were those trailers? Oh, I think they were all right. Okay, let me start off with Hellboy, because that's the one I saw first. Hellboy. I understand that the original Hellboy comic books, for the series Hellboy, it wasn't similar to the comics at all to a degree, because, well, of course it wasn't. But yeah, Hellboy, the movie that had what was his name, Paul something or another. Yeah, he wasn't. It's not faithful to the comics because it takes a lot of things from the comics, but does not do anything specific with it. Like, oh hey, it's the comic book movie of Hellboy that everyone wanted. Well, it's a good enough. It's a good movie. Like both movies are, I think. At least I feel that way. Regardless of anything else, but like the point is that Hellboy the movie itself is really subjective and depends on who you ask. But I liked it. I honestly did, especially with Guillermo del Toro. I think that's his name, right? Having a good enough amount of creativity put it into it, and showing a good enough, like, style to it. All this other stuff, the acting, the atmosphere, the characters were fine. Like, it was pretty good. The sequel, Golden Army, I thought was good enough, although it had issues, problems here and there, and I will admit it wasn't the greatest, but I thought it was okay. And that's cool that's a thing. So that depends on who you ask for that particular statement. But anyway. Sorry, I'm just like looking at my footage again. But anyway, so what about this new movie though? The one that's not connected to both of them and is going to be more, I guess, in line with the comics / it's going to be a reboot of the movie series. Well, it looks fine. It looks all right. I'm not against it, and it looks fine. It's just that I have certain nitpicks about it, but it's not a deal breaker. It's just I think it's gonna be a good movie, or maybe it's gonna be fine, and it's not gonna have too much issues, or it's gonna be mediocre, and there's nothing gonna be too special. I don't know, depending on who you ask. I don't know. So, oh Jesus. So anyway, let's. Sorry. Sorry, like something surprised me on this recording session. Anyway, so the movie, my issues with it, I guess, that I have with the actual like things with it is a couple of notable differences and issues. For example, the movie's overall plot seems kind of basic to a degree, but it's not bad. The whole concept of, oh, we're a secret organization thing. Well, like, what do you call it? Well, actually, I think I understand the plot of it, and it's basically just, save the world from something. Hellboy's here helping people. It's not terrible. It's just, you're getting what you're paid for / it seems familiar. And I know that's like everything Hellboy, honestly, because, his stories are pretty good, but, depending on who you ask, and there can be some complexities and more to it than that, but still, it didn't really show off too much story, so I can't judge it fully, but, one thing I will admit that I will say it's kind of odd for me is, depending on who you ask, really, is the voice actor, the person who's playing the character of Hellboy in this one. I forgot his name. He looks like a good enough actor to play the role, and there's one thing I do want to mention. I'm glad that they at least have Hellboy in prosthetic makeup. And like prosthetics and makeup, and make him look realistic. As real as they can get. And I'm glad for that because, oh god, I can't imagine what they would have done if they went with Beauty and the Beast style CGI animated stuff and made his entire like facial features, face, similar stuff like that, and made him just completely like CG, and they decided to go that route. Oh god, I don't like when they do that. Like they said, like, oh, we have enough money to pay for prosthetics, so we decided not to do it because we thought it'd be too expensive or too time consuming. I don't care, just do the time consuming thing. It looks better, it looks like way more real than on anything else. But whatever. It happened. It happened. So that's something that I can at least praise it for, because it's using prosthetics and using makeup, stuff like that, make it look real. It looks good. Although I will admit, like, I don't know, something about like Hellboy makes it look not that great. I don't know. It doesn't look as smooth as he should, I guess. I mean, in the comics books, he looks pretty smooth, looks good. In the what do you call it? Not the cartoon, the certain animated cartoons, you can see it's good. In the movie with the original Hellboy movie with directors like the director what was his name? I just said his name too. Guillermo del Toro, right? Him. And the actor, they had a pretty good, decent looking Hellboy, and he looked pretty good for what it was worth. So there's always that whole aspect of, oh, this Hellboy looks pretty dang good. like he really does. So it's never a question of if this character looks good, is good, or something like that. It's more of, is this character going to seem good? And the makeup's on him isn't bad. It's just it doesn't look too right to me. I don't know. He looks a lot older and has like wrinkles and stuff like that. It looks kind of weird, but whatever. I'm willing to overlook it. Another nitpick I guess I could have that I can talk about is that the character seems to have this weird slurring thing to him. And I think that's mainly due to the actor, but I'm not judging him, and I know that's kind of insulting, but whatever. But I don't know, it feels as if he slurs some of his lines accidentally. Not on purpose, accidentally, mostly. Which I'm not, like, I'm gonna reprimand him for. It's his, like, his own speaking. Maybe he has an issue here and there. I'm not gonna judge him on that. So, it's never gonna be, like, a thing where it's like, oh, that's an issue for me. So, I don't know. You ask anybody else, I guess, whether or not they have issues with it or issues with his actual voice or something. I don't know. Personally, I don't really have much issue there with him, honestly. So, it's all depending, really. Really, it's really all dependent on how you look at it, really. So, Hellboy it looked alright. It didn't look great, but it didn't look amazing, but it looked pretty good. So, I think I might check it out more later on or something. It doesn't... I mean, I like the original movie, so I'm going to be a little bit biased, but I'm going to try to keep an open mind, that stuff, so, there you go. What about everything else, though? What about the other two movies? Oh, yeah, the Men in Black one? I think it looks pretty interesting. And that's something everyone has this particular feeling for, at least for Men in Black. It's like, oh, I like the movie series only because it has a lot of interesting factors about it, interesting stuff, that type of nature, things like that. And that's cool and all. And I'm not saying that's bad, it's just that I can understand it, and I think that's what made certain people not too attracted to Men in Black 2 because it wasn't that interesting. I thought it was an okay movie, and I can understand it's not the best of the Men in Black series. And some people like Men in Black 3 because it brought more interesting factors to it, stuff like that. I don't know, it's depending on how you feel about the series. The movie itself stars Chris Hemsworth, I believe, and Tessa something, I think, or Tessa. It's spelled something, and it's interesting. It's an interesting name. What this person is basically is just who these two are the characters you'll see. You should have seen from Thor Ragnarok. Chris Hemsworth, Thor himself, and this female actress who's how do I put this? Who's a character in Thor Ragnarok? Someone important. Her name, I think, is just Valkyrie in that one. So, she's a Valkyrie. She's a part of a Royal Guard or, a Night Squad sort of thing of, what do you call it? Of, what's the term? No, right, for Valhalla or, Norse mythology sort of thing. If you see the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about. So, there's that. Is this not really? Oh, right. It's sort of going into overtime. So, how do I feel about it? I think it looks decent enough of a movie, I guess. I don't know. I'm not against it, and it looks fine, and it looks cool. In fact, Hemsworth and this woman, Tessa, they seem to work well together, and they seem to be able to pull off a duo like this. I will say, it doesn't look like the same type of relationship as K and J, agents K and J had when they were in the role, which makes sense. So, I'm not against it, it's just that, oh, it makes sense why it's different now. Thanks. Anyway, so if you ever have that type of issue or have that problem, Overall, though, I think it looks good. I think it looks fine. So, maybe I might see it. Maybe I won't. I think the duo looks fine. They don't look like the same characters as, K and J. They look a little different, and they seem fun, all that type of stuff, everything else. So, I don't know. But anyway, I'll end off the episode here. It's a little bit longer than last time, but whatever. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like, comment, subscribe for more. I'll see you all next time for the next video. Until then, sayonara, my butts. Take care.